Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Elephant Exposed. I am your host, CJ Jones, and I have my co-host with me. Happy New Year, my brother. What's going on, Mr. Dwayne Stinson?
Happy New Year, my brother. As they would say, Nuevo Año. I
Oh,
know
oh,
that. I think that's how you did. I know this. Nuevo
close
is new.
enough.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Close enough.
No disrespect to our Spanish followers and viewers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, okay. It's been going all around, and I can't browse through the internet media platforms. I can't go on YouTube. I can't go on Facebook. I can't go on Instagram. I don't even have TikTok, and I get TikTok highlights.
You just can't get away from it.
Can't get away from it. So people are going to want to know, well, what does this particular subject have to do with the elephant being exposed? Because my brother, we know you're black, we know you're a man. We do know that both of y'all are men of God. You know, y'all are Bible believers. But what does that have to do with injustices? Because that's what Elephant Exposed is about. Well, it doesn't have to do nothing with law enforcement, as in like law of the land
Mm-hmm.
exposure and injustices. So the injustices that I'm going to be speaking about this particular topic is going to be touching on an injustice of the spirit of the churches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with that being said, are we ready to do this, my brother?
Let's get it.
All right.
TDJ said hit my channel with a copyright strike.
Why are you trying to shut down if it's not true? Keep putting these things out there for people to see with their own two eyes and then act like we're not supposed to see them. You have been videotaped, recorded, pictured at certain events and parties doing certain dances that a man of the cloth ain't supposed to be doing. And I'm telling you now, God saw all this, and he ain't gonna let that slide this easily.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
What do you do when the truth comes out about something you've been doing and you don't want the truth out there? What happens when it threatens to destroy everything you've even thought about building, have built, and want to build? What do you do then? Well, the first thing you can do is run and hide, but that usually doesn't solve the problem. It stays there. Or if you have enough credibility and clout, you can shut down the people trying to destroy you. You know, that's exactly what Mr. Jakes is doing. Now, I'm not saying it's a sign of a guilty person. Okay, let me stop lying. It is a sign of a guilty person. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm saying that's the signs of a guilty person. Trying to cover tracks that you say don't exist. You say you're trying to cover information that shouldn't be there or is not there. It's a sign of a crazy person. Why are you trying to shut down if it's not true? I mean, I understand you might be trying to save your image and making sure people don't defame you. I guess that's one way you can look at it. But you are a man that follows God. He told you that people would hate you, right? This is what he said. Good. He promised you that. So you shouldn't be trying to cover anything, right? Good.
Right.
In fact, you should be more than willing to expose it yourself. Why? Because with the light comes peace.
All right.
Would you say so, Mr. Jakes?
Okay.
I'm not calling you bishop, by the way, because you're not. But with the light comes
Okay.
peace, right? No, but in your world, the light brings destruction to your empire. You cannot afford at all for any of this to be true, one, to people anyway, and two, you cannot afford for it to be known. So what do you have to do? Start issuing copyright strikes to people that are even mentioning this issue.
Well, I won't mind. I won't mind.
People have said it is.
That's gonna make me feel special.
TDJ hit my channel with a copyright strike. Tell me why TDJ hit my channel with a copyright strike. I had to go ahead and delete the other live. I couldn't take no chance.
My video about correlation between Eddie Long and TD Jakes.
got a YouTube strike.
Now, hear me out. I get that Jakes has a big name to protect, and he's established a whole bunch of stuff that could gain him funds and money and influence and pull. But Mr. Jakes, remember, you are the one that said that you work for God. Let God defend you.
Thank
But
you.
are you unwilling for that to happen because you know for a fact that he won't defend you because you've not been serving him?
Mm.
You know, that's what I really believe is happening with you. Guilt is a crazy thing. And I keep telling people, I speak from experience on this.
Yeah.
And it's not the good kind of experience. It's the kind of experience where I know when I did something atrocious
Mm-hmm.
and I can sense that it's going to come to light and I have to beat it to the light. Why? Because for my own sake,
Mm-hmm.
my own spiritual clarity, I have to get ahead of something.
You think?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mr. Jakes, on the other hand, is trying to make sure it never gets before him.
Right.
He has to make sure that what you're hearing is branded a lie, is branded an untruth. And if you can get to that point,
Just like Trump.
maintain your credibility.
Trump
in the
did the same
situation
thing.
you put yourself, not God.
Yep.
And he's
You've now kept
semi-successful with
your whole limelight alive.
it. Yep.
So we've been hearing a lot from people. I've even gotten emails, Corey's gotten emails, that this has been happening, that he's going behind the scenes, trying to get both YouTube and various other platforms to take down content that's been speaking on this issue. Mr. Jakes, it is not going to work.
It don't
You
matter.
can't silence the truth.
You can.
It's going to come out. Whether it's deemed a lie or not, still the truth. Whether you defame it, try and derogate it, it's still the truth. It doesn't matter what you do at this point. One, we've seen enough to know. Two, that the information we're getting is indeed credible. And three, you yourself are behaving exactly like a guilty person would be.
Would behave. Exactly.
As much as you stand there in your red suit at Christmas time, talking about, but there will be a time. Will there be a time? I think that time is here.
Absolutely.
You could log off right now. Just log off. No, Mr. Jakes, we're not logging off.
All of you who expect me to address a lie, you can log off.
Just
The
log off.
problem here is this. You have built an empire in the name of God with the help of the devil.
Ooh.
And I'm telling you now,
I like how he
God
said
saw all
that.
this, and he ain't gonna let that slide this easily.
No, he won't.
He will not be drug into the mud with you.
No.
He will not be seen, heard around the kinds of crowd that you roll.
My brother, I'm gonna just pause it right there. We're gonna finish this.
Mhm.
I got chills behind what this brother just said just now.
Yeah.
Word of God
He
said,
said,
before my word becomes nothing, both heaven and earth will pass away. Did he just not just say that?
mhm.
Listen, before anybody successfully tears down anything that God sets up in any shape, form, or fashion, please believe me, both heaven and earth will pass away. That's the word of God. And
That's
you
right.
can't hide it. You can't tuck it under your coat. And you can get mad and you can lash out. You can do a whole lot of things. But one thing that you cannot do is stop the truth.
Yep.
Let's finish this, bro. Let's finish this. We halfway done.
With. He's not the kind of God that goes on a TV show and has a gay dude dancing to all the single ladies. That's not how God operates, Mr. Jakes.
No.
Like I say, you keep putting these things out there for people to see with their own two eyes and then act like we're not supposed to see them.
Look at him shaking his head to the air.
Tape, recorded,
Mhm.
pictured at certain events and parties, doing certain dances that a man of the cloth ain't supposed to be doing.
Wow.
You've been participating in things that you yourself should be condemning.
Right.
So let's not act like God don't have eyes to see, because he said he's all seeing. And don't act like he gonna just let evil prevail forever, because he won't. You can try and hide all you want. You can take stuff down. You can defame other people. You can say it's a lie. But outside of people saying stuff, these two eyes have seen.
Mm.
And we're not going to believe what you say didn't happen when we can see that it did. So for those of you who are diehard Jake fanatics,
Yeah.
have fun watching the empire fall.
Wow.
Because when you revere man more than God,
Come on with it, bro.
putting yourself up for some real hard trouble.
Okay.
Making things really difficult for yourself. But hey, some of us are just stubborn. That's how some of us are. I remember this t-shirt that I always wanted. I never could find it, but I did find the sticker one time.
Mhm.
This was way back in the day. There was a t-shirt with this little monkey on it, right?
Mm.
And this monkey was a little cartoon monkey, and he had his hand held out like that
Mhm.
with a stick of dynamite in it, but it was more like a firecracker, right?
Oh, slow learner.
Bandaged up, missing, but bandaged up with a little stub, right? And he's got scars on his face, and he's
Hmm.
holding out this stick, and he's like this. And the caption was, "I'm a slow learner."
Yeah, no kidding. No
That's
kidding.
a lot of people today. You done got one arm blown off by holding a stick of dynamite, and you over there holding the other stick in the other hand, shying away, and you're talking about learner. You ain't gonna stop until both arms, legs, all of you just gone, right? That's how you. Hey, feel free to be that way.
Yeah.
The rest of us will put you on a t-shirt. Little moniker up there. Hey,
You're a slow learner.
don't let TD Jakes be the reason for this. Don't blame him. He's doing his own t-shirt. Meanwhile, you getting put on your own.
Mm-hmm.
This man has been lying for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time he's been lying. And a lot of people have fallen victim to it. But God will only be silent so long. He will only let this happen for so long before he realizes, you know what? Time for it to, bam, hammers down.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. Hopefully you're here for it too.
Yeah.
Now what and who gets linked to this? That's yet to be seen. I'm not worried about who's getting linked to it. I'm more concerned about this one thing here, that the people who have been led astray by this charlatan can finally get a breather to open their eyes in some way, shape, or form. Again, it's still your choice to or not.
Yeah.
But having him removed from the limelight will give a lot of people some time to think about what they've been following and who they've been following.
And see, and with that same energy, we can take that and also put it towards the political side too, with all these radical beliefs and people worshiping Trump in the same manner, the same way. The only difference between him and Trump is that TD Jakes is a true man of the cloth. He's a clergyman. He is a bishop. You know, and just as much as I would go hard as police officers, I'm going to say this. He is a bishop by title only. I said it. Bishop by title only. And my man is going to wrap it up. And I got one more thing I want to bring out, and then we're going to talk.
Okay.
Pretending it's in the name of God. What is done in the dark will be brought to the light. You know what else scatters when the lights turn on? Roaches.
Roaches.
Don't be a roach. Please don't. Don't avoid raid because you know what you are. In this event, what's happening now is the great awakening that we've been talking about for so long. It's not a political one. It's a spiritual one.
Right.
This the ones who have been blinding people for a long time are being removed from the picture. So now you are really without an excuse.
Right.
If I were you, I'd take some time, get myself before God.
Thank you.
Get right.
Thank you.
Because the storm that's coming next, a lot of people are going to be without houses. Better hope yours is not built on sand.
Good gracious.
Did my brother not break it down, or did he break it down?
Oh yeah,
Did he not break it down, my brother? Seriously. You know what? I'm not even gonna go to the other, because it'll look like I'm trying to bash, and that's what I'm not trying to do. Okay, so again, in case if you are a first-time watcher or you're a long-time watcher, you're one of our loyal viewers. One thing that we try to stay away from is uh rumors and different things like that, things that are not founded.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I chose this, at first, I was not going to do this topic at all. I was going to try to stay away from it because I'm like, you know what? Whether this man is going to be found out or not, you know, he was one of my guys that I kind of looked up to spiritually in a sense, you know, when I was at a point to where I was, you know, by me being raised in the church and everything, like by the time I hit a certain age in my life, I was like churched out. And I was just like, okay, I know I don't want to do but so much, but just let me, in my mind, I was trying to make it up an excuse just to get away from church for a little bit. But it's just kind of like whenever God has his hooks in you, he won't let you go. So it's like every time, you know, you try to get away from church and church like things, you know, somebody, a total stranger, you know, they'll just be like, you know, like there's something different. No, you different. Yeah, you at this, you know, place. So I see you hang around people, but you ain't like them. And you're like, ooh, I stick out like that. And it's like, and that's what we mean proverbially that God has his hooks in you. In other words, once you have established a relationship with God, he has an imprint on you that people just see. And it causes you to stand out until you just accept the fact, okay, God, I'm here. I've been running from you for a long time. My bad. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. What you want me to do? Like seriously, I mean that's just how it is. And you know, this is not a church platform. I'm not going to preach, even though we do know the word very, very well. But there's a couple things that this man said. Ain't no couple in it. I agree with this man across the board. Like I don't have a rebuttal for nothing this man said. I'm so full right now, but I want you to go ahead and jump in, D, because I can talk. I can really talk about this. Go.
I mean, like you said, he covered it from kiver to kiver, as the old people say, kiver to kiver. I heard that one a couple of times. Cover to cover, pretty much. And like you said, he came from a perspective of he's not accusing, he's not happy about it. You know, you got so many different perspectives that you see online where people are like, I seen this, I told you this, and I told you that. But he's spitting facts. And what we can all do right now is, even though this particular accusation, nothing has been founded with it, but we have seen over the years the smaller things that he's been involved with. You know, the hanging with Puff Daddy, of course. Like you said, that when he had his show, you know, had the guy dancing, and then the time they asked him about, you know what I'm saying, what he felt about, you know, heaven, and he said it's many ways to heaven. You know, during that interview,
that's the one I was going to try to find, honestly.
Just the watering down of the word, and what we all know is that the Bible says it's easier for a rich man to get to heaven, you know, than for a camel go through an eye of a needle.
Actually, say the other way.
Other way around. Okay, but what I'm thinking is yeah, and that's what's happening here. I mean, anytime you put a whole lot of money into something, you start to mess it up. You know what I'm saying? You start to infiltrate it. You start to water it down. You know, now I can't say this because I'm not worried about the word. I'm worried about losing sponsors now. I'm worried about losing money. And then with what's going on now, he's just a man. If he really, you know, the best thing he could do was fall on his feet in front of his congregation before the world and apologize. We haven't seen a scandal this big with somebody of his stature since probably Jimmy Swaggart or
Jimmy Swaggart. Yeah.
Jim Baker. You
Yeah.
know,
Baker, Swagger,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you
remember Creflo Dollar doing it.
Eddie
But
Long,
but definitely Eddie Long, Bishop Eddie
yeah,
Long.
you know, and John Gray.
Yeah,
Are you familiar
yeah.
with John Gray? John Gray just couldn't quit cheating.
I don't even remember John Gray that much. But basically what we're talking about is big platform preachers. And what it is that number one, okay, the thing that puts me on alarm when it comes to these mega church leaders is that they are leading a lot of people astray. Like even just by me saying it, I'm kind of like not giving it the significance that it deserves.
Mhm.
When the Bible says their blood will be required upon your hands. Dude, I mean, we are all very well aware of Revelations and how we say there's going to be a falling away. And if it wasn't for a little bit that God's very elect will be fooled. We know this. So we believers, we just praying that God will keep us. This is why we encourage one another, stay in your word, stay in the word. You know, you can, no matter what, there's going to be false prophets, false teachers, a lot of people even doing things in God's name, but they're not going to be real. There's a lot of people that's going to be fooled out here. This is what I teach my children. And I say, and there's going to be, this is prophecy coming into reality now. Okay.
Fruition. And that's the awakening. That's the awakening he was talking about.
Exactly. And so this is going to happen. This ain't going to be the first man. He's not going to be the first man. He's not the second. He's not the third man. This has been happening throughout. That's what I said. This is why another, you know, there's all kinds of other words and cliches, you know, don't meet your hero, you know, because it could be disappointing, you know, things like that. But let's back it up with the Bible. So we say don't put your trust in man, because why? Man will fail you. Man will fail you. I will fail you. You will fail me. And even about the small things, so let alone about the bigger things. Why? Because we are human. Now we don't use us being humans as an excuse, because we all supposed to strive. This is a part of the human experience. We are not perfect, but to try to strive for perfection. This is what makes us Christians. Christians are followers of Christ.
Right.
And what it's like to be, so Christian means to be Christ-like. So a lot of people be like, oh, you know, Christian this, Christian that, Christian that. And then they want to do the oxymorons. And yes, I'm going to talk about it right here, right now on our show. So I'm telling you right now, if I lose my followers, oh well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. But one thing that have always always turned my wrenches is the oxymoron of a gay Christian. There is no such thing as a gay Christian. You cannot say that your lifestyle is anti-God and then say, I'm following God. You can't do that. And one of the biggest lies, one of the biggest deceptions that they want to hide behind to say that is that they say, oh, God is love. Yes, he is. But it's not talking about the type of love that you are referring to. The type of love that the people of the LGBTQIA community is talking of is the type of love that makes your heart feel warm in the inside. And it's all butterflies and rainbows, and it's a feeling of physical elation and so forth.
Mhm.
But the love that God is talking about is a love of correction, rebuking, and chastisement. He said, I
Mhm.
chasten those who I love,
Mhm.
that keep my commandment. That's
True.
the love. So I'm gonna wrap it up. We have ran out of time. We're gonna do a part 2. We're coming right back. Stay with us, y'all. We'll be right